Okay, in this video, I'm going to be talking about the most important lessons that I've learned from about, at this point, 10 years of trading. So it's not going to be it's not going to be in any particular order of importance. We're just going to rattle them off here and we're going to talk about, my biggest lessons, the biggest things that I've learned so far on this journey, right? It's a you versus you business. A big issue that I see with many traders is getting into the comparison game. They'll see another trader pulling in insane numbers, right? They'll see, or even myself, they'll see me, pulling in 5K, 10K, 20K on a fucking trade. And then what a lot of people will do is they'll compare that to their results. And then they may have made like $10 on the day, $20 on the day, and then they feel like shit, right? It's like, oh my God, like look at all that money he made, look at the money that I made, and then this is nothing. And I'm so far behind. Why am I not at that level? Well, you're not at that level because I'm the result of, 10 years, 10 fucking years of consistent grinding, of consistent compounding, of consistent work. So yeah, you need to focus on your results. You need to focus on your progress, okay? Because I started off just like you. I started off just like you with those $5, $10, $20 gains. I was there at one point too, and people don't really like sit down and really think about that. I was at that point at one time as well. The same, you listening to this with your small account. Okay, I know we're all at different places. Some people that are listening to this have big accounts. Some people have small, but the people that are listening to this with those small accounts that have those little gains, right? I was once in your shoes. I was once in your shoes with those at the same exact place. Where I am now did not happen overnight. Okay, you see the end result now, but you didn't see the blown up account. You didn't see just the consistent grind, just the setbacks, the failure, all that stuff, right? You didn't see all that, but you see it now. You see me pulling in these insane numbers now, but it was a long way to get to this point. And you gotta realize that, because you're on chapter 1. You're on your chapter. You're comparing your chapter 1 to my chapter 20. That's what a lot of people do. Okay. And you gotta be focused, get inspired by my results. Get inspired by my results, because it shows you what's possible. It shows you that you can do it too, with enough time and enough effort. But don't compare yourself. Don't beat yourself up. You need to focus on your journey. And your focus, it should be on just ending the day better than when you started. If you can do that day in, day out, just focus on ending the day. That doesn't mean with more money. That doesn't mean with more profits. That means with just more knowledge, more experience. End the day better than you started. And that is going to compound over time. Effort compounds, okay? For a long time, it just seems like, oh, nothing's happening for me, or no progress. You're making progress if you're really giving your all day in, day out. And it catches up later on. It compounds, and it catches up later on. And it all comes together later, right? So that's very big. Focus on your progress, all right? Don't get into that comparison game. Risk management is the holy grail, okay? And you cannot out-trade bad risk management. I don't care how good your strategy is. I don't care how high your win rate is. Failure to manage risk will be the end of your trading career. It will ruin you. You can be right 9 times out of 10, but that one time you ain't, you're done with. If you fail to manage risk, okay? So there's no way around it. You need impeccable risk management, okay? It is truly the holy grail of trading, because it's what keeps you in the game. It's what keeps you trading. It's what keeps you learning, because everybody leaves this business usually the same way. You know what happens? They lose a shit ton of money. They get discouraged because they've been taking a fucking beating, and they just can't take it no more, and then they quit. But you know what would have solved that? If you would have took it slow, if you would have learned how to manage risk, if you would have started off paper trading as well, you would have just took it just slow and steady. But no, most people don't do that, do they? No, they don't, because they want to be rich right now. They want to be rich right away. They want money right now. They want to leave their job right now, and they try to rush the process, and as a result, their ass gets handed to them. That's most people in this business. Managing risk solves that. It keeps you in the game. It keeps you trading. You gotta manage risk. You can't out trade bad risk management. It truly is the holy grail. Okay. Technical analysis is not everything. Now you need everything. You need an edge. You need impeccable risk management. You need the psychology, all that good stuff. But a big mistake that beginners make is they put all their chips into learning, the charts, right? Learn how to read charts and all that good stuff. But then they neglect what's more important, and that is psychology. What good is knowing or having all that information? Because this space is full of individuals with an abundance of knowledge, with an abundance of they know so many concepts. They know how to use so many tools, but they're broke. And I say that not to make fun of them, but it's just the truth. What good is knowing all that information? What good is knowing a million different concepts if you don't know how to use it, if you can't execute on it? That's the whole fucking, we're here to make money, right? We're here to make money. We're here to be consistently profitable. What good is all that information if you can't execute on? More information is not always better. Okay, because I made this very clear in past videos, it then just leads to analysis paralysis. And that's why it's very difficult to execute on it, because you have so many different things from so many different directions, just pulling you different ways. You got a signal here, a signal there, a signal there. It's overwhelming. You got so many different tools on your chart. So what good is that? What good is knowing that if you can't execute on it? What good is that? That's where psychology comes into play. You need a firm understanding of a price. I'm not saying you don't. Okay, there's some individuals that want to claim that you don't even need a firm, you just need fucking risk management, and I don't believe that. I think you do need to, you gotta understand how to read price. You need to understand why price, like why drive rates the way that it does, but at a certain point, it's overkill. Okay, I've said it so many times. Everything that I do revolves around market structure, liquidity, and time, and I clean up. I clean the fuck up month after month after month, just keeping it so simple like that. You don't see me doing all this fancy, dumb shit on here. Like, I keep it very simple because that's all I need. I have a firm understanding of market structure, liquidity, time. And if you understand that and you have the psychology, you have the risk management, the market is your fucking ATM. It is an ATM to you. You don't need all this other crap. Okay? You just don't. You need to focus and you need to learn just price, the simple basics of price intimately, inside and out. You need to understand it. And that's all you need. In regards to an edge in trading, you need to understand price. Okay? And then after you understand price, then, of course, you need to learn how to manage risk. You need your psychology on point. Because also, if your psychology is not on point, well, then guess what? Risk management is going to go along with that. And your risk management is just going to be screwed, because if your psychology isn't there and you're ruled by greed and fear, well, then, of course, the risk management, it's going to fall along. It's going to go to the shitters as well. So you got to have good psychology. There needs to be more focus in this industry on psychology. Everybody makes videos on technical analysis because, that's what gets the clicks, right? That's what gets the views. I understand that. And because, psychology videos, they're not going to do as good as like 99% win rate, fair value gap strategy, 99% silver bullet, perfect entries every time. That's going to get the clicks, guys. All right. I understand how the social media game works. I know it gets clicks. It's not complicated. I understand why people do it. And in a lot of those videos, actually, there's some good info. Again, I understand, I don't think clickbait is bad, really, if the information inside of it's good. But the point here is, though, there needs to be more focus on psychology. Yeah, charts, the price, all that stuff's good as well. If it wasn't important, I would be making videos on it. But there needs to be a focus on psychology, because that is what's going to allow you to execute. Okay? So you need to put your focus on that as well. Don't neglect it, because if you neglect it, you're not going anywhere. People want to say it's overrated. Bullshit. People that say it's overrated got something to sell you. I promise you that's the truth. There's something in there. There's something in there trying to slip in. All right. Don't neglect psychology, because if you do, you're not going to make it. I promise you guys, you're not going to fucking make it if you neglect psychology, your psychology. Okay. If your mind is not right, then nothing on the outside will be. That P&L curve essentially is a reflection of what is going on in your head. If you're inconsistent in your mind, you're going to get inconsistent results from market. If you're consistent in your mind, you have an edge, you have all this stuff aligned, well then your P&L curve is going to gradually move up with time. That's just facts. Take accountability is the next thing here. Take accountability. I've said this many times. The reason, or the second, that I became a profitable trader is when I did this. I took self-accountability. I had just blown up my account, dusted it, my small $2,000 account, due to revenge trading. Most of you know the story behind that. And I was left there with an empty account balance. To some, that may not seem like a lot of money. To me, it was, because I was dead broke and nothing. And I was sitting there staring at it, feeling deep shame. Like, what the fuck did I just do? What the fuck did I just do? Like, who was that? Who was trading? Like, that wasn't me. I don't even know what fucking happened, right? Because I was just in this pool of emotions, trading out of this pool of emotions. But here's something that I did, and here's something that most people never do. And this is why you will, and if you don't do this, you are going to remain an unprofitable trader, and I promise you this. This is probably one of the most important things that I'm going to say in this video right now. And a lot of you need to hear this, because it's very evident that most people don't do this, because I see it on social media all the time. It's very clear people lack self-accountability for their actions. Okay? When I blew up that account, you know what I did? I looked inward. This is my fault. It wasn't my broker's fault. It was not my mentor's fault. It was not the market makers out to get me. I did this. I fucked up my account. I did this shit. I blew up that account. That's my fault, because I got emotional. I revenge traded. I did not manage risk. Nobody made me do that. That was me. I was in the driver's seat. It's not the fucking see, this is another thing people see and I trade SMC, right? I use it in my trading. It works. It's great. It's awesome. And I do think in regards to technical analysis, being able to reprice ICT concepts, SMC, it's the best stuff out there. You may disagree, some of you, but that's my opinion. That's my point of view. That's what I've got really good results with. But a big issue that I see with people within the SMC community, and ICT, he does, like, of course, he kind of instills this. I don't know if it's just a marketing thing or not. I'm not going to make that statement, but a big thing that I see within the SMC community is they want to blame the retail concept for the reason they lose. They'll say, the reason I've been losing is because, like, these retail concepts have been making me liquidity. These retail concepts are flawed. And that's the reason I've been getting taken out. That's the reason that I've been failing. That's the reason that all this has been happening to me. It wasn't my fault. It was the retail concept's fault. That's the reason that I'm failing. Bullshit. You can bullshit. No, you can't bullshit me. You can bullshit a lot of other beginner traders when like that echo chamber, right? But I see right through that. I see right now. Are there strategies out there that aren't an edge, that are flawed? Yes. For the most part, guys, like to group retail concepts, and this is coming from somebody who trades SMC, to group retail concepts into this bucket of, okay, none of it's profitable. It's the reason you fail is bullshit. It just is. It just is. You didn't fail because of retail concepts. You failed because you can't control your fucking emotions. You don't know how to manage risk. But no, it's hard to look in the mirror, right? It's hard to do that. It's so easy to just point that finger and say, that's why. That's why. It's hard to look in the mirror and say, okay, I was a fucking degenerate, a fucking amateur degenerate that did not manage risk, that can't control emotions. And then that led to my demise. It's very difficult to do that, right? It's very difficult to look at yourself in the mirror. It's easy to say, that's why I failed. It's your fucking fault, retail concepts. It's your fucking fault, guru. Not your fucking fault. You're the reason you fail. It's your fucking fault. And what I did in that moment where I blew up that account, I looked in the mirror, I said, okay, it's my fucking fault. What did I do? What can I do to improve? What are the steps moving forward? And I say, like, that's the second that I became a profitable trader. Not that exact moment, of course, but my trajectory for my trading career, it started to move up from there. I still had setbacks. I still had moments where I took bigger losses than I should have, but I never blew up again. And that's where I started to really progress and move in the correct direction. And I would have never done that if I didn't take self-accountability. And a lot of you need that talk. And because I see it on social media all the time, people want to blame prop firms. All their shitty prop firms, yes. All their crappy, scummy prop firms, yes, guys. But again, it's on you. You're the one that buys it, right? You're the one that buys the challenges. You're the ones who does that. You got to take some accountability for your actions, even if it just seems like it's just totally their fault, right? Just seems you got to find something. Okay, some people get that, some people don't. But you did something there along the lines. Right? You did something that that got you essentially checkmated, right? And you got to take accountability for that. So yep, so that's just a big issue. It's always the prop firms, it's always the brokers, market makers are out to get me, right? The concepts, look inward, look at what you did wrong and improve. It's that simple, guys. It's that simple. Okay. Next one, get a mentor. I know everybody hates this. Oh man, all these fucking gurus, they're scammers. No, they're not. There's a lot of scammers in this industry. No doubt about it. There's more bad than good. But guess what? That means there's still some good, right? And that's where you need to focus. You need to focus on the good. You need to focus on who is willing to help you, who's willing to extend their hand to help you make this happen. Like, they're out there. Okay. And I can tell you right now, if I didn't have mentors, I would not be where I am right now. I would still be working the dead-end job. I would still be struggling probably. Or let me just say, like, I'll put it like this. I wouldn't have succeeded as quickly as I did without mentors. All right. I'm sure I still would have made it happen because I just got that in me. I know myself. I don't give up. I'm just relentless, right? And I work my ass off. But without a mentor, I wouldn't have got it as quickly. It would have took me years. It would have added years and years and years to the learning curve. And I wouldn't be where I am today without them. All right. I wouldn't be full-time right now. I wouldn't be a millionaire right now. I wouldn't have all these things if I didn't have mentors. And those are facts. I promise you. So get a mentor. Humble yourself. Don't try to do it your fucking self. All right. Drop the ego. Drop the fucking ego. Okay. It ain't going to bring you nowhere. It ain't going to get you nothing. All right. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. There's nothing wrong with, looking for that person to help you. And then what people say is, oh God, it sounds like a sales pitch to me. You can learn for free. You don't the people hear that and they think, oh, you got to fucking pay money. No, you don't. No, you don't. A lot of you, and then the same people that say this, then they learn from ICT though, right? That's considered a mentor, guys. Even if it's free content, I can see. Now, the depth of mentorship is what a lot of people are getting confused with. You can't expect to get the depth of mentorship for free that you would be paying for. You pay for something, of course, you're probably to get more in-depth stuff. You're going to get more one-on-one with that person, but you can learn for free. I'm not saying you can't learn for free. Like, of course, there's so much free content. Look at my YouTube alone. I have an entire playlist on psychology. I have an entire playlist on SMC, psychology, risk management. Like, of course, you can learn for free but of course, you also can't expect the same depth that you can expect it for paid content. That's just how it is. That's just how it is, guys. That doesn't mean you can't learn. So drop the excuses. You can learn for free. You can get a mentor for free. Okay. Just have somebody that's showing you the way, that's paving you the way. Okay. Because you're essentially just reverse engineering. And then it's just going to be, you're going to fast track it so much just by doing that. You're going to fast track your progress as a trader 10x. 10x, guys. This kind of goes into because one of the points was put more focus into psychology. So this kind of goes into that bucket, but just to kind of touch upon it as well with a separate point. It's okay to be wrong. Traders, they like to judge their success a successful day, whether they were correct or whether they were wrong. Okay, if I made money, successful day. If I lost money, unsuccessful day. And that's not how you need to look at it. It's okay to be wrong. It's a part of the game. All traders are wrong, and anyone who says they aren't wrong is a liar. It's a part of the game. You need to judge your day of success, not by whether you were correct or wrong, but based on whether you followed your plan. Because if you followed your plan, then it was a successful trading day. Okay, it doesn't matter if you made money or you lost money. That doesn't fucking matter. All that matters is if you followed your plan, because following your plan and that discipline that you cultivate from following your plan day in, day out is what's going to pay you money. It's what's going to pay dividends over the long term. You got to have that long-term perspective. You got to realize, okay, I got to give the edge time to play out. I just got to keep fucking executing. And if you follow the plan, you focus on following the plan day in, day out, it's going to happen for you. But what traders do is they focus on, whether it was a winning trade or a losing trade. It's a losing trade, they get fucking emotional. If it's a winning trade, they throw a damn celebration, right? And they bring those emotions in. It's just business. That's how you look at it. It's just business. I'm executing. Boom. Follow the plan. Good. Follow the plan. Win, loss. Good. And that's how you got to look at it. There's nothing wrong with being wrong. Nothing wrong with, I'm wrong plenty. I get my analysis wrong plenty. I get caught in fake outs plenty. I'm that liquidity plenty, right? It's part of the game. Nobody likes to say that on social media because everybody wants to appear perfect, right? I'm not perfect. I take losses. Plenty. I have losing streaks. I have drawdowns. But because I have that long-term perspective, because I understand those key components to psychology, I'm going to come out on top long-term. I'm going to be a long-term winner. But to become a long-term winner, you must become an excellent loser. Let me say that again. To become a great long-term winner, to become that consistently profitable trader, you must become an excellent loser. I know it's a difficult process because you essentially have to rewire yourself. Okay? Trading is a very difficult business because it goes against everything in your nature. But it can be done. And once you do conquer, there is nothing in this life you can't do. There's just nothing in this life you can't have. You've conquered this, guys. Right? Because you essentially conquer human nature. And the last one I'll say here is do not quit. All right, if you quit, it's never going to happen for you regardless. If you quit, that's one way that you can guarantee that you're never going to become a successful trader is if you throw in the towel, right? Yep, but at the top of my head, I think that's about everything that I can think of. I'll probably think of something else once I click off the video, right? But that's about all I can think of right now. Those are like the most important things though. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you later.